All right, guys, and we are back to continue where we left off earlier today. Let's do my lamp here. You can see better. There we go. And we're still waiting for some things to dry, but I should be able to dry brush a lot of this stuff. I should be able to thin this out and get ready for my wash. Hopefully, I can get the wash going by end of this stream. If not, I'll have to wait until a bit later tonight to do it. But yeah, get started here. More paint on the brush on the plate here. So you kind of thin it out and then maybe do like a second coating. A few areas here and there, but yeah. Yeah, these streams are going to be very, very impromptu the next couple of days, just because it's all kind of dependent on when everything kind of dries, like because otherwise I'll just be standing here like an idiot. Yeah, nothing to do. Just want to go in and kind of just refine the paint a bit, just kind of thin it out, help it dry faster, and then I can throw my black wash on top of it all. And then, yeah, I'll be ready to go with some dry brushing later on tomorrow. My rocks and all that jazz. I want to get these platforms here so that really sells it as part of the ground. You want to kind of make sure like these, because it's gray versus white, so I'll kind of make sure that it looking the same here. That way it looks more natural. But I'll grab that in just a minute. Yeah, it's an interesting sort of color. I haven't really used like a red base like this, so kind of makes it more fun and interesting. Maybe this could be like an alien planet, too. Doesn't have to be Earth necessarily. It's kind of not really a defined location we're going for here. It's just kind of meant to be practical for the character, for the figure. Put it on a little bit too thick here. That's okay. But my sky backgrounds actually are pretty much ready to go. Hey, Creator Burst, good to see you. It's the first time you've been on the channel, so it's good to see you, man. But yeah, we're back to the basics now. We've been away for a little bit because I've been doing a lot of out of town work for my job, so I haven't had a lot of time to do any art on the channel. So I decided, let's do some dioramas because I have the paints for this one. It's very, very, because we're working with earth tone like base dioramas here, so it's not really hard to pick out because I have a whole baskets full or bins full of paint now. Because I'm doing all these dioramas over the years, so it's hard to believe that it's like been years now since I started doing diorama work. Just kind of time flies by. But yeah, this is going to be for the Sisxshot I just got in the mail a couple of days ago. You go right. Just do a real quick view of it. I got this one right here. Oh, got a nice view of my shelf here, and then right there is where this arrow's going. Go right below the swamp there, where my Insecticons go. But I took them off the shelf because just to make it easier for me to move stuff and knock them over. So they like to fall down on me. But yeah, I'm just kind of going for a kind of a rocky sort of environment here. We're gonna have these craters actually going to be geysers. Actually, they kind of have some sort of a geyser effect here. It's something just a little bit different. You know, with all these dioramas I do, I kind of try to do everything a little bit differently, even if I have a similar environment. You know, because I have a bunch of like mountains and all that stuff and forests and all that, but I try to make them a little bit different from each other. You know, because it's good to have a bit of diversity, so to speak, on the shelves. You don't want everything to be the same. Yeah. Now, originally, I was going to go for the Planet Thrall from the 5 Faces of Darkness 5-part episodes in season 3. But I have plans for that location for a future Galvatron shelf, or a second Galvatron shelf when I get the room expanded a bit more. But that's gonna be a little bit away from now. I'm not too sure when that's gonna happen. Just because I gotta curate the space a bit more behind me. So, but for now, we can work on what we have. What we do have, and yeah, so it's gonna be this diorama, and then we'll be doing the bludgeon shelf, which is gonna be the very top one, and that's gonna be up top in that shelf there, right below Shockwave, and then we'll be doing the Unicron diorama next, because after that, because it's been long overdue. You know, we've been putting it off for too long, and this is a very glaring sort of hole in the collection right now. In terms of dioramas, because it's like it's a centerpiece, so it should be kind of fully completed right now at this point. So, and that'll probably be the last one we do at the end of the year. If not, we might be able to do the Jetfire shelf, or rather, future Jetfire shelf. But only time will tell for that one. But yeah. So like this area is kind of like, it's not really meant to be a specific area. You know, I didn't really have to be honest, I'm kind of in it a little bit for this diorama, because it's just meant to be a very simple sort of environment. You know, because I have a big bot coming in here, so you can't really do a whole lot in the foreground here. So that's why I'm letting all the details kind of come through in the backside here, for lack of better terms, because you don't want to mess with his standing space. You want to make sure that he's got enough room to stand here. A lot of thought process when it comes to doing dioramas. You got to really think about the space and all that, and plan accordingly, or fit specific pieces and all that. But end results are usually pretty good when you work your ass off to accomplish something. Because we're kind of going for a brownish sort of a red almost color for the base here, and then we'll come back in once it's all fully dried with a black wash to kind of add some extra it's a really quick way to kind of do extra texture stuff and all that onto the foam. So it's a really quick way to kind of get nice texturing in, and then we do some dry brushing to kind of finalize the details, and also want to detail up the geysers a bit, because some of the reference I've seen of geysers, actually they usually have like this kind of like residue of like kind of like an orange yellow kind of around the crater or whatever, for lack of better terms, for the geyser. So I want to kind of do that kind of around this, just a little bit of a faint sort of a thing there. Yeah. So I enjoy urban dioramas from time to time, sometimes for fantasy, for Tilda. Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of like really, like they have them a lot in this one comic store I went to actually yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple days ago. Yeah, I really love like people who can make really nice like miniature dioramas. Like I see a lot, like I watch a lot of that sort of videos that kind of inspired this whole thing, this whole project for me, because I was like, you know, so I could very easily just have my shelves be just like plain white with all my figures on them, but you know, I was like, you know what, we're artists. I'm an artist, you know, so it's like, why not display my figures in a place that kind of reflects them as the characters and all that, and you know, put some pride in the way I display things, you know. It's like, you know, they're expensive pieces, some of them, you know. So it's like, you know, if I'm not afraid to spend the money on the piece, I shouldn't be afraid to spend the money on some foam, you know, or brushes, you know. You know. Just gotta own it. And it's these craters, because it's like some sort of plastic. I'm not quite sure what kind of plastic. I just got them off of TV. Is it cheap? It's been taking a little while to dry, or take over the grays. Yeah, another layer. Yeah. So otherwise, the wash would just kind of eat away some of this paint, and we don't want that. I am 3D printing my original characters and creating scenes of them to give them some life to my office. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's cool. I want to get into 3D printing as well. It's just a very expensive endeavor. Like I just kind of, because I'm not really into 3D modeling myself, so I'd have to learn a whole new skill in order to get into it properly. You know. But it is something I have wanted to do. I do have Blender. I used it a little bit once. Just haven't really had a lot of time to really mess with it a whole lot at the moment. But yeah, it always kind of interests me though. I always want to do stuff like that, like make my own action figures. Would be kind of cool. Like, that's one thing I'd really like to do. Because it'd be really it'd be really cool to do that. But once I get a big fat paycheck, maybe I'll get a 3D printer. But got a lot of other things need to pay off before I can do that. Some areas I missed. Little nooks. Probably should have painted the platforms here separately before gluing them in. Oh well. Yeah, let's let that dry for a bit. Work on the back and side walls. My brown plate there, and your plate, and these are the walls, back and side walls we did this morning, or not this morning, a little bit earlier in the day. So far, we only just got the sky so far, so we're gonna do some mountains now. And that's my right side. I apologize for this chair. It's old as hell. Everyone complains about it. But I didn't even get a new chair though. It's like fucking been through the ringer. It's so stressful, yeah. All right, so can you do black and a broken next? Yeah, sure. Shit, dude. Goddamn chair's on crack. That's enough. Yeah, well. Should mix the black with the brown. Just use a old fun. Oops. I'll wait my time looking for it. Nope, not you. No, not you yet. There we go. Okay. And start with the middle. It's kind of the best place to kind of start. And I don't really have a exact idea of what I want to do with the mountains, so I'm just kind of opening it here. Let's see what sticks. Okay. So I usually do really pointed mountains, but I kind of want to do like kind of like those taller ones that kind of go like this. I think we'll have some like foliage maybe in the, or not foliage, but kind of like rock work in the bottom half here. Not like canyon, like kind of like Canyon Mountains, but not 100% like Canyon Mountains. It's kind of a hard thing to kind of explain here. And okay. And then it's kind of letting them be random. And now I just got to fill that all in. Oops. Now let's fill it all in, all the way. Just see paint parts. Yeah. Sounds like. What's up with you? All right. Just want to thin that out as much as possible here. That way it dries faster. I'm trying a little bit different technique for the mountains here. I'm going to kind of leave some mountains blacked out completely, and then I'm just going to, and then for the ones I want more in the foreground to be more detailed. So the one in the middle here specifically is going to be the one that's kind of more detailed than the two on the back here. I'm going to do a similar plot process on the right and left sides of the wall here. Just kind of make it look like it's in the actual like distance here. Just want to kind of play around with that a bit. It's I think I do a lot of like detail work on the mountains. I think that sometimes so when you see mountains in like different ranges and different like distances and all that, like you see more details in ones that are closer to you than the ones that are like further away. So I kind of like to do stuff like that, and also kind of it saves me on paint and all that. So especially when it comes to doing like shadow work, So I think the one in the middle will kind of bring in some more lighter browns, kind of detail up. Let's get some more paint. Low already. Ooh, it's pooping out. I need new brown. Yes, shade. Oh, there we go. Bottle. There we go. Poop it out. So much better than perfect. Oops, a little too much. I've got my smaller brush for this one. Okay. And actually, I might do a little bit of a foliage effect in the background and then do some rock, on top of that. So it'll be mountains, foliage, rocks. That'll kind of be the foreground here, or the background here. Now, I'm actually kind of thinking about getting a airbrush at some point. And I might actually use it on this eventually, but I have to kind of wait on that. So what I want to do is actually do some like little misty effect, because it is supposed to be in like this kind of like geyser sort of environment here. So you know, with geysers, they have like there's like really big puffs of like smoke and all that comes for steam rather that comes from them. So you want to kind of want to do that. So. All right, so this is the right side, so we kind of got to line that up, make sure it's kind of warped a bit. That can be fixed later on. Sheet, nickel foam. Just gotta identify where it starts, and then we can figure it out from there. All right. Move you off to the side, dry for a bit, and we'll kind of come back and thin that out. It's all rolling. I exited to make sure I know to black it out, but I really need to have that indication. That one small one right there. Yeah, I've really been kind of looking into airbrushes lately. Trying to figure out which one I want to get. If I just want to get a cheap one, or if I want to get one that's long term. I'm thinking more so towards the long term one. That's one that's like more high quality, because I probably will be using it a lot if I do get it. Because I obviously have plans for more dioramas. So, because that's what's going to happen with the expansion plan I'm kind of working on, is that it'll. Because the thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move all the Lego bins and all that out into the other side of the basement, and then that will enable me to have a bit more space for more bookshelves, which is where I display all my Transformers. So it'll give me a lot more display space now, so I can cover more characters from the show and all that. So because right now I can only fit season 1 and 2 characters in the collection, and some of the 86 movie. But in terms of season 3, 4, some of the more obscure characters, I can't really fit unless I do a big expansion sort of thing here. So, on the plan. It's a good way to go. I think brushes and their brush works well for. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be using it for. Also, lighting effects, I've kind of seen people do that, where it's like they kind of like they make lava, right? And they just put, and then they lay down a layer of red or orange paint around it from the edges, and they kind of add this kind of like glow effect that kind of seems to happen with some people, and I kind of want to do that as well. So I actually do have a Devastator shelf with lava in it. So that'd be one thing I could probably add into the shelf if I do get an airbrush. Just kind of add some more light. Also, some shadowing is also good for it. What it's good for. What I've seen is I might do that as well. Just give it a more realistic sort of vibe. I do kind of prefer doing the more realistic environments, like the more earth-based environments. Like the ones that usually are the hardest to do are the more uh, uh, industrial locations. Like if you like do like a city or do like a Cybertron environment, like those are the ones that really take the most time. Because there's a lot of extra details you gotta account for, and if you're not like perfectly symmetrical in some areas or what have you, like it can really mess things up. Because when it comes to like human built structures, you kind of expect things to be perfect. You know what I mean? You expect the building to be perfectly straight. You expect all these things. Oh, is that the left side? What are you doing here? Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, okay. So I got the wrong one. Oh shit. Hold on. Okay, easy fix. I'm just gonna be across the side here. Yeah, I just realized I was using the wrong side. There. Make it work. Must have swapped them when I was adjusting them in the shelf. That's okay though. Easy fix. Just kind of get the sides here, kind of make it more gradual when you put it in the shelf. Makes it look more like it belongs there. But I'm actually kind of thinking about making dioramas and actually selling them. So I see a lot of people like do that. They like make a printouts of backdrops for dioramas. I'm thinking, well, what if I did one for? Because like the problem with some of the backdrops I've had, or at least the one I had from like Toy Hacks, is that it doesn't fully cover a Billy bookshelf, and I think that's what most people are kind of using nowadays is Billy's from IKEA. At least in the Transformers world, it seems to be kind of like the go-to thing now for a lot of like collectors. Something that might be a good niche to kind of do. So it's really hard to find a way to really sell your art, because it's just not really a natural thing to do for me personally because it's like I enjoy doing art. I don't like the business side of art. I don't like doing that at all. Like I don't like it's like I don't like asking for money. It's just not really my natural state. I'm just like I work for the money and I have this kind of a weird view of it or something. Not that I don't work for it when I'm drawing a commission or whatever, but it's just like for me, I hate turning a passion into a business, into work. You know what I mean? It's kind of it becomes less fun. You can't like work at your own pace anymore. You have to be because there's deadlines. There's expectations and all that. So it kind of becomes a bit more stressful than just doing art the way you want to do it. All right, let's see. Yeah, so but I originally thought to just do like dioramas like this for sale, but the more I thought about it, I was like, no, like it's not a good idea because a lot like dioramas like take a lot of time, and it's not really viable to kind of turn that into a sustainable business because it's not really sustainable when you're the only one doing the work. So it's probably better. So to me, it's just like better just to kind of do everything digital now. But yeah, that's fair. I think it really depends on the way you do it. It's my full-time career personally, so the passion carries over into the work. Yeah, and the problem is like I don't have, it's like I have also a day job, that full-time job. So like that also kind of like is a problem, for me. Like I can't fully commit to art as a career just yet because I'm just, tied down to that. Um, but I would love to turn art into a career. But it does kind of become I just worry about it becoming stale and becoming less fun because if I'm not, I'll be allow myself to create things I want to create. I feel like I'm not really. I feel like I'm being doing a disservice to myself, honestly. My own creative process. That's just me. But I just don't really have the most like business savvy like mind. I'm just like my whole thing is like I just want to create things. That's just my whole thing. Yeah, yeah. And to me, money is just like a tool that may help me create more things. That's just the way I kind of view it. And let's do a little extra touch up here. All right. And I should probably do a better angle. Instead of I admire anyone that does it for fun. Yeah. Like I said, I have done commissions before. It's not nearly as fun as just like creating because I want to create something. Yeah, and if it doesn't, and if it's not fun anymore, then it's just like it's not really worth doing. You know. So I'd want to be in a. So for me, I'd want to be in a place where I'm actually creating things I really want to create. Um, whether it be a comic book, whether it be, you maybe like I don't know, whatever else I can kind of think of. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it too much, but anything I really like, I actually do want to do. Like that's what I want. As an artist, just like all the creative freedom in the world, which I can probably never get because business is business, and yeah, it's the way it works. Let's see how we're doing here. That a bit. And all these big lumps here. Yeah, dioramas here are always like fun to do because they're very, very. It's kind of like it's more. It's almost like more. In a way, it's almost more rewarding than natural drawing because it's like it's almost like a 3D drawing when you make a whole diorama for a bookshelf. It's like because you have a whole background and you put the figures in and just kind of I don't know, man. It's just like a very rewarding feeling when you have a whole team of characters and the Transformers or whatever else I'm displaying, and just kind of having them all in character and all that. It's just the coolest thing ever to me. But yeah. Yeah, we got a couple more to do by the end of the year, and they'll probably be done for a little bit because I haven't really fully decided what I want to do for the bottom shelf just yet for those bookshelves over there. It's mostly just the stuff above that's kind of being worked on. But we did get the Autobot shelves fully done now, so that made me happy this year, as well as the Decepticon side. So it's all just kind of missing the actual figures because surprisingly, I'm able to kind of finish the dioramas before I get the figures for some reason. So, but yeah. I like to throw it fucking dry. Hold on. Just gonna grab some hauls real quick. Put you. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think I have like a sore throat coming on or something, so it's kind of just getting really dry from here. I took some cough meds this morning or an hour ago, so hopefully it clears me up for tomorrow. So I got to stream next couple of days because got more work trips coming up pretty soon. So I'm not too sure I like this mountain right here. Looks too lumpy. We're gonna do this. There we go. More purposeful now. Yeah, I got a couple of days off, so I'm gonna try and use it as best I can to do more diorama stuff this next few days. Cause I am going out of town, like I said. Sucks, but yeah. Do it while I can. And let's see. Base layer is still drying, so I can try thinning that out a bit. We'll let it back for a bit. Gosh. So I got a heart attack there, shit. Do my blacks. Excuse me. And got my browns. What am I going there for? Yeah, all right. Just poop it out. Poop out the paint. Okay. Let's try and fill in the craters a bit more. Thin the paint, let it dry quicker. And there we go. All right. Just want to blend it a bit better into the ground. Just make it more natural looking, but you do have to kind of wait a little bit before I can actually do anything with the actual geyser, because I'm waiting on this it's kind of like gel thing I got on the way from Temu. It's kind of meant for I think it's supposed to be for like dioramas, like to make water effects. So I'm gonna try and use that. But I'm also I'm thinking about using some glow in the dark paints I actually got today. It was kind of on a whim. Like I didn't really. I wasn't really looking for it, but I found out, I was like, you know, this would be kind of cool on the geysers, you know, kind of have a little bit of a glow going on. So I might try that. If not, you know, whatever. But I might give it a go if it's viable. I have to do a little bit of a test actually to make sure to see how it works. So I want to see if I can actually put other kinds of paint on top of it before I can commit to it, or if it gets covered up completely if you paint over it with a matte or a satin sort of or just like a regular sort of a paint, you know. But if it does work out, I might actually do that more often, because it would actually help the shelf, like just a little, add a bit more light to the shelf, you know, or future shelves rather. All right. All right. Oh, not showing. That's my ability. There we go. But yeah, I might call it a wrap really quickly soon, just because it's taking a little while for a lot of this paint to dry. I might go do a little bit more on the mountains, but yeah, it might be it because I have to, like I said, I gotta wait for paint to dry and all that. So that's kind of like the way the streams here kind of go here. Is I stream until I can't paint anymore, or I'm just like exhausted. Or if I want to save some things for another day, just get more streaming hours in, I guess. But yeah, just kind of go until there's nothing for me to paint, because I'm just either waiting for a wash or paint to dry. So I was kind of hoping to get a wash in on this stuff, but I do that. Doesn't really look like I'm going to do it in the stream in particular, but I might be able to do it tomorrow or later tonight if it dries enough for me to do a black wash all around it, because it'll help kind of make this nice. It's a very, very easy way to kind of do some weathering, add a bit more texture to the base layer. And I can just go back in with some dry brushing and then kind of pull it all together. It's kind of a new sort of method. I used to just do like paint over all of it. Now I just do washes on, just because it's very, very quick and easy to kind of do. Not quick, because you have to obviously wait for it to dry and all that, but it's much. I think it's a more efficient way to get details in really quickly and look more natural in a lot of ways too. So That's good. But yeah, I'm not gonna worry about any of these rocks at the moment because I will be going back in with some grays on top of that to make them more. We'll make them stand out a bit more from the terrain here, a bit more just kind of pop color. Also got some more foliage like from Michael's, so that I'll be using. Kind of just add a bit more like little like plant life. I want to kind of more like dead sort of plants here though. I want to kind of have a more. I kind of want to have a more eerie sort of vibe with this one, kind of like this very murky sort of a location. That's kind of the goal here with this one. But the way I'm doing the ground, it kind of looks like an alien planet because you don't really see a whole lot of like really reddish brown grounds a lot of places, but I like it because it's unique, you know. It's a little bit different than what I normally would do. So. Yeah, yeah. All right, later, Creativers. If you're heading out, I'm just kind of working till I drop, so to speak, right now. So, yeah, it should be good enough for now. Trying to make sure I get all these little like underbellies as well. Okay. See if I can do a little bit more on the mountains. Still kind of dry, so I don't want to mess with it too much though. Yeah, I'll just leave it for now. Yeah, that's what we got so far now. We got mountains now. A little bit more work done on the base layer. So just gotta wait for it all to dry tonight, and then I'll probably just do the wash off air tonight. It's just one little thing. And yeah. So on that note, I think I called a wrap right here. Get a better view of my work thus far, and it's gonna go right on that shelf over there, right next to the movie shelf on the right, obviously, because I have it kind of split up where I have Autobots one side, Decepticons the other side. Although maybe breaking that rule a little bit with a few more shelves in the future, but yeah. Now as you over there, you can kind of see a little bit of my Decepticons kind of poking out on that one shelf there, but as well as my combiner team. So yeah, that's a pretty. That was really satisfying when I finally got all three of them together. When I got I think Metasaur was the last. Yeah, it was Metasaur. That was the last one I got of all three of them. So really, really cool guys. And actually, I just got for the Superion over there in the corner there. He's kind of just waiting there because I ordered this upgrade kit you can get for your Fans Toys Slingshot, where it allows you to kind of it allows you to substitute. It allows you to kind of it comes with like these like swap out arms and legs and torso units, so you can actually have a Superion but without having to use the actual aerial bots, because then you can actually display the aerial bots separately from the combined form now. So I got that. So I got that upgrade kit on order now because I want to do that. Because instead of because then it'll kind of save me some money on buying like a Zeta Toys Superion, or God forbid another set of Fans Toys aerial bots, which I don't want to do. That's really expensive now, especially. So, but this upgrade kit was only like $200, so it saved me a good penny. Just waiting for that to kind of arrive, and yeah, that'll be kind of the way I do Superion in the collection. So I'm hoping they do that for the Technobots that Fans Toys is coming up with too, because I think they did a few more upgrade kits for like some of the Bruticus, some of the other combiner teams from different companies. So I imagine they probably do one for a future Computron when Fans Toys comes around. Hopefully soon, but they just got announced, so we don't really know when they're going to be coming out. But yeah, that's going to be it for the stream. Got a lot of stuff on the way actually when it comes to like stuff in order. I'm still waiting for my Fans Toys Dead End to arrive, which is going to kind of suck because I'm going to have this whole combiner unit of Menasor on standby. I might actually sell actually on eBay just the combiner parts, because I'm only getting that set just for the Dead End, which is it's really annoying because they don't let you buy him separately from the combiner parts, which kind of sucks for me anyway. Because some people don't want to, because some people have already gotten like the X Transbots or DX9 like I did, but yeah. But yeah, still waiting for that. I got Scavenger on the way from X Transbots, and I have the Magic Square Vortex. So starting to get these combiner teams rolling, and yeah, it'd be nice to kind of finish off a few teams this year, hopefully. I think Combaticons are probably the one that we finish off, and Senecons, but not too sure about. Yeah, don't really see them X Transbots finishing their Constructicons this year, but maybe next year. They're actually pumping out pretty fast. Actually, I think they said that their Bone Crusher is coming in August, and then I imagine Hook will be next, probably at the beginning of 2026. So yeah, and I think that, and then they said that Blade is coming out pretty soon too in September. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff I got to save up for. So and but before I go on another Transformers toy tangent, because I usually do that. If I start talking about Transformers, I cannot stop, so I better stop right now. And close out the stream. So thank you so much, Creatorverse, for stopping by and keeping me company for an hour as I do some very boring base coats. But eventually, next few days we'll kind of make these base coats look a bit more presentable, a little more prettier. So. But on that note, I will see you guys later. Anyone who's lurking and all that. I know I haven't really been streaming a whole lot lately, just because work's been kind of a pain in the ass. But hopefully, once the summer rush kind of dies down, we can probably get back to streaming more. I want to do some more. I really want to get something set up for both Halloween and Christmas, because I always like to do some special pieces for those days. So I want to at least have one like good piece for both holidays. So yeah, on that note, I will see you guys probably tomorrow morning. We'll be back to work on the diorama, and yeah, we'll just kind of continue we'll just kind of go the same way. We'll probably do 2 streams a day next couple of days just to get this thing done, because I have until the 4th. Yeah, because I leave on the 5th. I don't leave anywhere on the 5th, but I have some work. I got back to work on the 5th because I have the next couple of days off right now, so trying to take advantage of them as much as possible. But yeah, on that note, I will see you guys around. I won't be able to do any clips, I don't think, because StreamYard's kind of blocked me. Yeah, because for some reason I had it all like for free. Like I was able to show the clips like willy nilly, but now I can't because got to upgrade for some reason. Maybe it's just like a threshold, like for a couple of years or something, or they just kind of change things up. But who knows? I have to get the upgraded plan for that, because I didn't need it before, because for some reason they allowed me to have show clips without having a subscription or whatever. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah. But on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow.